Hi, my name is Obi Chukudi, popularly known as TK, or by my alter ego, Mr. C. I am a creative director, a filmmaker, an actor, and an influencer, amongst other things that I'm discovering about myself daily. And this is Know Your Creative with Agbon Styles.
In your introduction, you have listed like 50 million things that you do. So tell me how you started any of them.
I'll start with being a mobile videographer. I think that was how all of this started. I started with being a mobile videographer, but one thing about me is that I am a big dreamer. And one thing that I have learned to do over the years is to sort of like shorten the time between when I am dreaming and when I achieve when I am dreaming. So in between that time of like figuring out I want to become a filmmaker and then shooting with my phone, it's not really something I want to do long term. I was just getting a feel of the creative space, if you ask me. I took a course in creative directing. And after a while, I found a brand, The Patio. Shout out to the CEO of The Patio, Sir Greg. He gave me a shot to shoot or direct and star in my first short film style content. That's what I call it for brands. And it came out well. Real well that the numbers were incredibly crazy, I would say. Incredibly crazy. And from there, I just sort of like picked up on other things, brand influencing along the way, more projects as a creative director. I'm currently working on my first short film for YouTube, and I'll currently be directing my first music video as well. A couple of things since starting as a mobile videographer.
Thank you so much for bringing up that patio video because I have it here in my questions. So how did you come up with the concept to start with?
Okay, I think my style is mostly influenced by one of my mentors. And I'm not ashamed to say it because when I dropped the video, a couple of people from the comment section were like, this looked like something that I Am Grant, who is my mentor, would create. I think people expected me to feel bad about that comment, but I did not. Because I felt like if you would think this is something my mentor would create, damn, I'm doing something really, really good. So yeah, somebody that his style sort of influenced mine, in as much as the story or the song choices were similar to something he would choose or do, I tried to make it around my style.
So how have you figured out what you like, and how have you also figured out how to bring out your style to life?
There was one thing my mentor said that I sort of work with. So to be a great creative, or to be the kind of creative that I am, you have to start thinking like a child. So as kids, we would make up these really, really crazy stories about superheroes, about whatnot. And I sort of had to like dial down all the noises I have in my head as an adult and go back to start thinking like a child. So all of those stories comes from, that's all being a child perspective where you think anything is possible, basically. And that's what I do. Even to my days I have in my head that I've not shot yet, that maybe someday I'll collaborate with some big brands in Benin and shoot them. They are crazy, really crazy ideas. I don't feel like I have this world in my head that when I turn on the camera or when I have like my crew on set and they are doing their stuff, it just comes to life through, cinematography and whatnot.
What challenges have you faced so far when it comes to bringing your imagination to life?
I have definitely faced a lot of challenges as regards not having enough equipment to shoot and all of that. But then again, I'm starting to figure out, especially with I think yesterday I was editing my short film and I looked at the entire thing and I looked at my editor as well, my co-editor, and I was like, we shot all of this with these few equipments that we have. Like, this is top notch. And one of the guys, they were like, oh, he knows some productions that they shoot with Blackmagic camera and whatnot, and it's not as good as this. But we shot with like a Sony FX, Sony A7 IV. That's what we shot with, and then the light was like a 2-light setup. And I don't know, when the short film is out, you definitely see it.
I can't wait.
And it's like, I'm starting to realize that a lot of the time, it's not about the equipment as much as people think it is. It's about you finding ways to do what you want to do with the little things you have. Finding ways. And that is just how I have been able to do my thing, and also collaborating with people, because you're not going to have everything at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You're going to meet people that you're going to have to collaborate with. As much as I'm a creative director, I am not a cinematographer. This is going to be funny. As much as I put out so much work, I do not know how to use a camera. I don't know how to use the camera.
to camera either.
But I am just a creative director. I bet the ideas and I bring everybody together and then they make it work. So collaboration is one thing that's helped. Making use of what you have is one thing that's also helped. And along the way, you definitely get those equipment when you start, making money from your craft and whatnot.
People believe that Benin City has small-minded people that don't maybe dream big. So how do you select, or how do you even, first of all, even meet people that would not try to dissuade your vision?
I would say something that when you choose to become that kind of creative that is like big-minded and you have this big imagination, just put out something, one thing, just have one thing. Bet me, those kind of people, they would find you. It is that simple. To be honest, I put out just one thing and I attracted an insane amount of creatives in Benin that are like-minded, they dream big, they want to achieve more and all of that. Just put out something, trust me. That is the only secret I have sort of like in my own personal experience. Many people have other experiences, but my own personal experiences or my own personal experience, I'd say just put out something that is not small-minded in that sense. And people that are of like mind will find you. Like, I just put out one video and I don't, that narrative is not also correct because we have a lot of great creatives in Benin. There are a couple of them in the studio with me. Amazing creatives in Benin. They do amazing work that I cannot even do. Like, they have a different niche that they work in, but they're amazing. They are not small-minded in any ways. It's just that, like you said before, things that would limit them would probably be equipment or access to these equipments. Give them those equipments. And trust me.
How do you fund your projects? That's one question. And the second question is, how do you convince your clients to fund that project?
The first ever project that I did that I had to do like from the start with my own money was my first short film, which I'm currently editing and it's going to be out soon. Watch out for it. It's called Cordial. Trust me, premium TV from CK Films. Okay. But anyways, how I did that was I started with my own money. But then again, I started to realize that the budget for the film was starting to expand as we started to move to day 2 of the production, which is like a different location. And we had to pay money for the location. When you get into the film world, you understand that there are things called, there are producers, directors, there are everybody with their different roles. And there are people called executive producers. And those executive producers are people that sort of like fund a project in the movie industry. There are brands or individuals that see visions with your project or what you can do. Especially if you have like a portfolio that you can show them. And besides that, I think I'm going to answer the first question with your second question. How do I get to meet people? Besides being a creative, you also need to learn human relation. It's a very big part of being a creative. You have to learn. So for the first video I did, which is the patio video, I was introduced by a friend that I shot. Then I was using my phone as a mobile videographer. I shot this like workout video of him at the gym. And it came out so well. So when we were driving back from the shoot, then they were still building the patio stuff. He took me there to meet the owner. And it was like, this guy is a really, really good cinematographer and all of that. It was like, okay, I'm expecting this place to look out or come out. He showed me the plan. I was like, wow. Then I didn't know the owner of patio then. That was the first time I was meeting him. And then I got to snap and then we just get talking. And then when they were close to opening, I was always going to his office to see him, talk about, stuff. And then I was like, I have this stuff I want to create. I think that's one reason I would always mention Sir Greg, or the owner of the patio. He has been one of the biggest influences in my creative journey. Especially from when I started. I just shared an idea with him. I have this stuff. This is what I want to do. I have a cinematographer that I think can pull it off. This is the amount he's charging. It's like, for some weird reasons, it did not doubt me. I don't know if it was God. Maybe it could be God. But it was just, it did not doubt that I could do it.
Yeah.
He said, okay, how much am I paying your cinematographer? I said, this is the amount. How much am I paying your drone pilot? I said, this is the amount. I sent him the bill of quantity or quotation. They call it creative, but in civil engineer, we call it bill of quotation. Sent it to him. So bill of quantity. I sent it to him. He saw it. He was like, okay. I sent my account number. I sent the money. It was featured Virtus Hotel for that short film. And then we posted it and it went viral. And the owner of Virtus Hotel called me and said, we see what you did for the patio. We want something that for our own brand, something personal. And then it just keeps moving from there. One of my projects, I just, yes, you would have to find a way to make money. So one of my first films, like the patio and Virtus, I got paid obviously. So I took some money from there and I put to my first short film. And then going forward, I realized that my money was not going to be enough. So I started reaching out to brands that would be executive producers. A lot of brands, like even the patio said, agreed to become like an executive producer. They sent money. Some other brands, which you'd see when you watch the credits of my film, that sent money to become executive producers. Because at the end of the day, to be honest, if you're a great creative, like myself, like to my own, if you are a great creative like myself, and you put out really good work out there, brands would want to associate themselves with you. They want to be associated with your name. And whatever it is that your name just appears, like for my brand, the CK Films, whatever they see CK Films, they want to be associated with that kind of brand. So yeah.
Nothing but the truth. All right, so let's take a short break and do nothing but the truth.
Okay.
So you're going to select one card.
Let's get the truth started. Sure. Sure. Oh, is that a swear word?
Don't worry about it.
Share your rate card with us. And punishment. If you do not do, if obviously I do not share my rate card, punishment will be dance shocky. I am a terrible dancer, so I'm going to answer the question. The only thing I do right now for brands, besides creating my own personal content, which is like short films for YouTube for now, what I do for brands is short film style content for brands. And my rate card is...
Drum roll, please.
Okay, so I charge 1 million naira per day. And that doesn't really cover everything, to be honest. It covers just cinematographer, my idea as a creative director, drone pilots, and then that's it. The locations that would want to probably feature for the shoot, if they would charge, the 1 million naira per day doesn't cover it. That's like extra expenses. But yeah, the one that covers equipment as well. Every equipment we'd use for the shoot. But yeah, to answer your question is 1 million naira per day for clients in Benin. But when you're talking about clients outside Benin, that is talk for another day.
So you talked about being an actor, being a director, and you would have a shoot, right? You'd be on set, and you have to be the director, and you have to be on camera. How do you juggle that? So
how I do being a creative director and an actor at the same time for my project is I work with people I trust. And there are two people I've worked with, like I said before, Victor Zaviano, great cinematographer, great creative director, great everything. Vic Story, same thing, great creative cinematographer. What we do is that I drop what I call my short list. So for every shoot I'm doing, I have like my own personal short list that I do by myself. So like I said, I have this word in my head where I see things before I even do them. So I write out the short list that I want. I go to my cinematographer days before we even shoot, and then I explain everything I want, and then we sort of like do practice shots with everything, with every shooting in the short list.
Oh, so you basically do a dry run?
Yes, for everything, every short list. They come, sometimes they even have to come with me to the location.
Is that part of the budget?
Yeah, that's why I say 1 million per day. I have this big imagination. Sometimes it's not really realistic. You find out that your imagination and reality, sometimes they would work, sometimes it opposes each other. So they would tell me, oh, this shot you're taking might not work because of the size of the space you're shooting in and all of that. So I work with people I trust that they would do like these dry runs. And then with my actors, we do what we call script reading a couple of days before the shoot. So we nail all of our lines down. We don't have to figure those out on set. So when we are shooting, it's fast. Most people that I've worked with will tell you that I spend a lot of time on my pre-production. That is the biggest part of anything I do. I do not come on set and figure stuff out. Once I start figuring stuff out on set, I would literally crash and burn. My brain would just literally go to zero. I don't figure out stuff like when I'm shooting. No, I do all of that pre-production. Even the songs I use for my film, I've already figured them out for pre-production, my short list, my dialogue. If we're improvising on set, it's just like very, very minute details.
Touches,
Exactly.
There's a particular shot that I'm talking about, the patio video, where you and Zulai are on... You're on the table, she's on this and you're on that side, and in the middle you have the patio. And I just want to ask, who decided to open the video like that? Was it you? Was it your smooth? Like the fact that the patio fits in the middle.
It was me.
Cinema.
So I would not take. So what I do, what I've learned to do that makes me a better creative or a better person is that I don't take credit for everything. I give credit to everybody that contributes to whatever it is. So when we shot that video, the patio wasn't appearing. But then when I sent it to the CEO of the patio, he was like, oh, it needs a place to show. In as much as there were shots that show the patio, you obviously can tell, but it needs a place to show the patio. So what I did for that video was I did a loop. So the ending is connected to the beginning is connected to the ending. It's called a loop. And that is something I learned from my mentor, Grant, as well. He does loops with his videos. And I'm just going to share a tip. When you create loops for your video as a creative, it gives it more engagement. So this is what Instagram algorithm does. When somebody watches your video all the way to the end and watch the first 3 to 5 seconds of your video again, Instagram sees the video as very interesting and pushes it to more people that you don't even have as followers So what I do is that once my video loops from the end to the beginning, they watch the beginning again without realizing that they finished the entire video, and then they watch the first couple of seconds again. The algorithm catches that, pushes my video to more people. That's what I would work. So, sorry, I digressed. After sending the video to the CEO Patio, it was like he wanted the name of his brand to show, and I was trying to figure out where exactly to put it. I was talking to my, because there's this thing I do with my cinematographers. We have this same, I know when we are working and you're in the zone with creatives, your mind sort of like start to sync.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when I just looked at him, I was like, the beginning. It was like the beginning, almost at the same time. And then we just sort of like put at the beginning, and then we sort of like use this animation to introduce the video and then fade that as well. And then it just worked. And then I realized that is my thing. So when I did Vetus video as well, I put the brand at the beginning of the video. So whatever brand I work with, their brand logo or name would appear in the beginning of the video, but in different style to make it more creative.
How do you manage burnout? I don't know if you've ever
experienced
burnout.
I do have burnout, and to be honest, I don't know how to stop yet. I will figure that out. And the old mental stress and pressure, there's this quote I saw, what a privilege to be pressured by something you enjoy doing. I think that's how it goes. I don't know, but it's a privilege to be pressured by something you really enjoy doing. If this pressure was coming from, say, maybe a 9 to 5 at the office, I'm working for somebody.
One bank.
Yeah, definitely I'm burnt out every day. Now I am doing something I really enjoy doing. You can wake me by 2 a.m. in the morning and say, let's go and direct something. I'm like, where is it at? Let's go. What's the pettiest reason you've declined a collaboration or a client? Punishment beside the national pledge. The pledge is still, I pledge Nigeria, my country.
Are you asking me?
They changed the national anthem. I don't know if they changed the pledge. Okay, pettiest reason. I don't think I've ever had like a petty reason to decline a collaboration or a client. I've declined clients, but the reasons are not petty. I put out stuff that I know that would cost a lot to do, and then I send my quotation to clients now, and then they say, oh, it's too much and all of that. And I just say, okay. I don't try to convince anybody, because I feel like what you saw is what brought you to my page. And if you want that, and or you say you're a person of quality, like I said, you will also know that quality requires a lot of finance, a lot of it. So they just say, okay, it's too much, and I'm like, okay, it's fine, no problem. I don't even try to negotiate or even bring it down. I'm like, okay, it's fine, no problem. There are people critics that are also amazing in Benin that can do something like that for you. Sure, reach out to them.
What is the CK experience?
The CK experience. CK experience is a lot of things. It's a lot of things. It's so when I tell people, when they ask me what the CK experience is I tell them it's me bringing people into my head, like into the world I have in my head. So there are multiple words in my head. There are a lot of words in my head. Like Mr. C is an alter ego that I created from one of the words I have in my head. So one of the words I have in my head is a world where everything is perfect. A perfect world where I get to do what I really want to do. So in that world, I wear a suit every day. That's why Mr. C always wears a suit. I of course drive a sports car. In that perfect world, I'm a creative director in that world, and also a finance expert. So yeah, that world. That's what. So Mr. C is one of the characters I put out of that world. So CK experience, like in the aspect of, say, the party that I chose called CK experience. So as a child, I've always just been someone that loves R&B. I never actually liked Afrobeat as a child or early teenage age.
Oh, you're so rich.
I love it now. I love really, really great artists like Wayne Davido, Wizkid, all of them. I love all of them. But
that sounds like you're trying to. Don't drag him.
But as a child, I loved R&B. So now I still very much love R&B, and I want people to be in that space I have in my head where it's just R&B playing. So I bring all of that to life with the CK experience. So R&B party. So my surprise, there are a lot of people in Benin that love R&B as much as I do. So they all came for the first experience. So the second experience, you are trying to make it bigger. And, bring in more people that enjoy to sing to old, new, in between R&Bs that are like popular and you can just vibe to. So yeah, that's what the CK experience is about. I
feel like we've talked about the different brands and your different things that you want to do. So tell us about CK, the map.
Okay, so sometimes it gets confusing because sometimes I get to be a creative director. I get to be a lot of things, and then I sort of like forget who CK is as a person. And sometimes I take breaks, and I'm planning to take one a couple of weeks from now and take a trip a couple of weeks from now, and then just go and find out what I enjoy doing again besides being a creative director. And that's work. As much as I enjoy doing it, it's still work.
Yeah.
So I love to watch movies. Hey, I love to watch movies. I love to listen to music. R&B especially, sha. But I love to listen to music. I love to eat. It doesn't show, but I love, oh God, I love to eat. One of my first love language would be food. Just give me food. As much as when I'm directing, I forget to eat, sha. But I love to eat. I love to meet people. It's sort of like one of my favorite experiences, meeting people, learning about people's reality.
So you're an extrovert?
Not until recently. But before, as I was an introvert, I like to be in my house. But when I go out, I love to meet people. I love people's experience. I love people's perception of the world. It shapes whatever story I get to write in the future. When I hear about your experience, how you see the world, because the world is not black and white. People's experience or people's reality or people's truths is different because of their experiences of life. So I like to hear about those experiences and sort of like make a story out of it. So I like to meet people. I love to travel. I love to try new food. Hoi.
Okay, so you mentioned Christopher Nolan as one of your favorite directors. What other directors, film directors, do you enjoy?
What other? There's this. I've forgotten this woman's name. He's a Nigerian. Sorry. Yes, this guy. This guy is Nigerian. Dami Twitch.
Oh.
I love Dami. I love Dami. He's directing this film I'm looking forward to coming out. It's called a Call of My Life. I love Dami. There's this other woman, the woman that directed. Is it a woman that directed To Kill a Monkey?
Yes, Kemi Adetiba.
Yes, Kemi Adetiba. I love her. That was one of the first movies that came out of Nigeria that I was like, hey, yo! Besides the storyline was just amazing. But the camera angles, they paid attention to continuity in that movie. That was one thing I loved. They really paid attention to continuity.
I think you've also described yourself as a storyteller.
Yes.
So, and you talked about how you like meeting people because it influences the kinds of stories that you want to tell. So what kind of stories do you want to tell?
First of all, I want to tell stories that are relatable. I want to put something out there that people would like because they relate to their experience in itself. And after that, let me just get that out of the way. Tell stories that are relatable. I want to tell stories that are fictional. I want to create a movie around Mr. C character, sort of like influenced by James Bond. Yes, one of those.
That's why I was always wearing a suit.
That's why I was wearing one. But yeah, I want to create fictional stories that are not like relatable by anybody, but you just enjoy it because it's like
it's fiction.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing but the truth. Question number 3. What's one lie creatives in this city constantly tell? Punishment. Call the last person you spoke to and tell them you have a crush on them. Last person I spoke to was a guy. I cannot do this. I cannot do this. What's one lie creatives in this city constantly tell? Constantly. In this city, always. No, nah. Do they tell lies? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they tell it, but I feel like they. I don't know how to say this in a way that I don't insult anybody. This is not me insulting anybody, but something you said at the beginning. A lot of creatives in the city are sort of like maybe shrunk to a particular idea that fits the city, that fits into the city because that is the idea that brands probably in the city can afford. That is the way of creating brands in the city can afford. And maybe that would shape upcoming creatives as well to sort of like niche down. Maybe you would want to start with being this amazing creative director or this amazing filmmaker, but you won't get a lot of support from brands to sort of like patronize you. So you kind of sort of like shrink into this, pool where I don't think they deliberately do it. I don't think that's a lie they tell. So you sort of like shrink into this pool that people in this city would want to pay creatives. For me, I never shrunk. I never did. I just do what I wanted to do, and like I said, they will find you. People that can afford what you can do will find you. I've got deals coming in from left, right, center. Lagos mostly shower. So because I did not shrink, people can actually see that this is coming from Benin. And I really want, the reason why I actually did my first short film, one of the reasons besides the fact that I love creating, is that I want to let people know that this was shot in Benin. This was thought of by a person that stayed in Benin. Everybody in this film are people that stay in Benin, and they will be like, you can compare this to Lagos or Abuja standards and it would match up in levels. I think my first short film started on the party actually won an award. Oh, this is I was saying it in public, but I'm going to South Africa in a couple of months to pick up an award that film actually won. Yeah, I submitted it to one award film festival, and then it won an award that I have to go and pick up in Johannesburg. But yeah, this is just an advice to upcoming creatives. Do not shrink. Do not try to niche down. Go crazy. Go crazy. And if you think you have the craziest idea and you don't know how to pull it off, reach out to me. We'll do it together, because I'm a crazy person as much as you are. So go crazy. Hi, my name again is Obichukudi, popularly known as CK, or by my alter ego, Mr. C. And this has been an amazing experience with Agbon Style on the segment Know Your Creatives. Look out for my first short film. It's coming out soon. Bye.